Right now, I want you guys to think of where you were, what you were doing when you were 5 years old. Now, what if I told you the youngest DJ ever DJ'd in a nightclub in Hong Kong when they were 4 years old? This is insane, just like the other records we are about to uncover in this video. Make sure you stick around to the end. You don't want to miss it. To start things off, the youngest heart surgery ever performed on someone was performed when they were half a year old. Next, we have the youngest professional soccer player at 1.5 years old. Now, I don't even know if I was walking at 1.5 years old, but this is definitely impressive. Next up, we have the world's youngest organ donor at 1.7 years of age. Next, we have the world's youngest skateboarder at 2 years old. Now, I still don't even think I know how to ride a bike, let alone even walk. I'm probably still clumsy as hell, yet this man is riding a damn skateboard at 2 years old. What the heck? After that, we have the world's youngest billiards player, and at 2.1 years old, how do you even reach the table? That's insane. I'm starting to get a bit jealous. Next, we have the world's youngest lifesaver, and at 3 years old, called 911 to save his father. Now, absolutely props to him. If his father never had him as a child, his father would probably have died, which is crazy. Whereas on the flip side of things, we also have a 3-year-old assassin, which is honestly kind of scary. Next, we have the 4-year-old DJ who performed in a nightclub in Hong Kong. Now, this is particularly very interesting to me because I've always wanted to become a DJ. Next, at 5 years old, we have an archaeologist. Next up, yeah, that's right, a professional 5-year-old golfer who aced the 86-yard par 3 6th hole at Cambridge Lake Golf Course.
What?
Next, we have the world's youngest parent at 5 years old. And honestly, I'm quite concerned because the backstory of this might be a little bit dark. Next, we have the youngest record for the youngest TV reporter, which is at 5 years old. Now, this is crazy because when I was 5 years old, I don't even think I could form cohesive sentences, let alone talk about something that people would actually listen to. Next, this record goes to the world's youngest yoga teacher. This is absolutely incredible because they start classes at 5:30 a.m. Do you know how much motivation it takes to get up at 5 a.m., let alone start a yoga class at 5 a.m.? That is insane. Next up, at 7 years old, we have the world's youngest pilot, but unfortunately to this, it says that she died when her plane crashed, which is honestly quite sad. Another world record goes to the 7-year-old, and they created a full version of a mobile game involving ballerina vampires, and now I'm actually kind of intrigued just by this description. Next up, we have the world record for the youngest professional painter at only, again, 7 years old. Turns out he sold 16 watercolors for 17,000 pounds in 14 minutes. That is insane. Next up, we have the world record for the youngest person ever to fly in microgravity, which is, again, 7 years old. Now, this one gets a bit dark, because at 7 years old, we have the youngest serial killer who killed his own cousin, sister, and a neighbor's baby. Honestly, that sounds like it came straight from the plot of a horror movie. Next, we have the record for the world's youngest drifter, which is 7.5. And apparently they've been driving since they were 7. What? Bro, I was scared of driving when I was like 17 at least. How is that legal in any country? Next up, we have the world's youngest wing walker, which means they go up on the top of biplanes and walk on the wings, which sounds really cool and really dangerous, but he did this at 8 years old. That is scary. Speaking of 8-year-olds, we have 3 more records set by 8-year-olds. 1 is a radio presenter, 2 is a college lecturer, and 3 is getting married. Now, I'm 21, and even yet, I still don't think I'm ready to get married at all. Next, we have the world record for the youngest fire breather, and it's apparently 8.5 years old. I don't know what fire breathing is, but apparently if he's still alive today, it's okay. Next, we have the world's youngest skydiver at 9 years old, and apparently he jumped from a plane 2.5 miles above the ground. We have finally made it into the double digits. Now, if you guys are still watching, make sure you guys full screen the YouTube video, and let's see how these records compare to the first half of the video. To start this off, we have the youngest supernova scout, youngest live portrait artist, youngest opera singer, and youngest high school graduate, all at the age of 10. Next, we have the world's youngest prisoner, and at the age of 11 was sentenced to 25 years in prison. Next, we have the world record for the youngest app developer, and at age 12, Thomas established a company that has made 2 iOS apps. Also at 12, we have an astrophysicist researcher by the name of Jacob Barnett, has an IQ of 170, which is apparently greater than Albert Einstein's IQ. Have you ever tried walking 13 miles? is tough, but Jordan Romero has climbed Mount Everest, which is 12.7 miles tall, at the age of 13. Also at the age of 13, we have the world's youngest professional chef, who has worked in top restaurants in Los Angeles and Chicago. After that, we have the youngest record for the youngest nuclear scientist. Taylor has built a device that detects nuclear weapons smuggled in cargo shipments. Also at 14, we have the world's youngest death penalty. On the flip side, the world's youngest time person of the year award goes to someone who is 16 years old. Speaking of 16-year-olds, the world's youngest Fortnite champion Kyle won $3 million. Mind you, he is 16. Also at age 16, we have the world record for the youngest electrical vehicle engineer. And at 17, we have the world's youngest Nobel Peace Prize winner. Also at 17, we have the world's youngest licensed stockbroker, as well as the world's youngest cancer researcher. Next, the youngest person to sail around the world was 18 years old. Also at 18 years old, we have the world's youngest NBA player. Again, another world record set by an 18-year-old is the world's youngest billionaire. Again, at 18 years old, we have the youngest person in space. Finally, we're done with 18-year-olds. Next up, we have an F1 championship winner, and at the age of 23, Sebastian won their first title in 2010. Next, we have the world record for the youngest global leader, and this is at age 27. Whereas at age 29, we have the world's youngest crypto billionaire. Last and not least, at age 42, we have the youngest US president, Theodore Roosevelt. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you guys. Make sure you guys hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Click the next video here, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.